Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
we can get started. If you just want to start out with the introductions.
Okay, I'll do a roll call. Hello, everyone. My name is Lori Paleo with JMT. Just to let everyone know, this meeting is being recorded, and if you are not speaking, please mute your mics. Okay, going down the list, Brandy Howard,
Good morning, everybody. Brandy Howard, Suncoast Safety Council.
Brenton Mosher,
Brenton Mosher, USF Cutter.
Valerie Brookins,
Yeah, Valerie Brookins with Board Pinellas.
Kathy Gadamer,
Hi, good morning. Kathy Gadamer, City of Dunedin.
David Gutenplan,
David Guttenplan with McCormick Taylor. I was just jumping in to see if I could get involved now that I'm no longer with DOT. So this is cool.
thanks for coming. Eric Henry,
Hey, good morning, y'all. Eric Henry with FDOT District 7 Safety.
Richard Intrante,
Hi, Rich Interante, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office in Grant Management.
Jim Hartwell,
Good morning, Jim Hartwell, Element Engineering.
Lane Lauren,
Lane Loring, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, Vice Chair.
Lieutenant Mark Easty,
Mark Easty, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, Pinellas CTST Chair.
Mashid Ariste,
Good morning, Mahshid Arsley, American Quality Consultants, FDOT Safety Ambassador.
Matthew Belmonte,
Hey guys, good morning. Matt Belmonte with Gresham Smith.
Robin
Good
Morton,
morning. Good morning. Rick Adams from the nation's traffic safety schools.
Robin Morton,
Good morning, Robin Morton with Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Daniel Negersmith,
Edgar Smith with the City of Clearwater Police Department.
John Ryman,
Good morning, John Riemann, Pinellas County Public Works.
Steve Gasson,
Steve Gasson, City of Tarpon Springs Police Department.
is there anyone I did not mention who is on the line? Hey, Mark, I believe that is everyone.
Thank you, Lori. We'll now move on to the approval of the August minutes. Those were sent out, so I just need someone to approve it and then someone to second it.
I'll approve it, Mark. I second it, Mark.
Thank you, sirs. All right, next thing we'll move on to for committee reports enforcement. We'll start with Tarpon Springs PD. Anything you guys have from last month or anything coming up from this month?
We don't have anything from last month. We're still just continuing with the LE stuff until the end of that process.
Sound good. Dan from Clearwater.
Hi, Mark. We just got our HV contract signed. We're good to go with that. Once we get everybody that's on the list trained at the end of the month. We'll be hosting in October the Advanced Traffic Homicide School, as well in November we'll be doing crash reconstruction for those who are interested. Other than that, we're just really hanging in there from the hurricane from the beach. We've kind of been on patrol out there since that all occurred, so we kind of been limited to what we can do. That's all.
Thank you, Dan. Anyone else from law enforcement that I didn't catch? Alrighty. So for Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, just like Dan said, well, first thing I'd like to say, hopefully everyone made it through the storm and, didn't suffer too much of a loss. I know the past weekend, and through the week, I've been stuck out on the beaches and, saw firsthand the destruction, especially in St. Pete Beach. So, it was rather rather painful to see that. But as with us, some things got scaled back because of that. But as far as last month goes, myself and Blaine Loring were in attendance for the CTST mega meeting in Tampa, which I think went very well. Went up and spoke, kind of like I did in years before, talked about some of the stuff that we've accomplished and some other things as well. They had some good presentations there. Unfortunately, I had to leave early, but it was a very good meeting. So hopefully they'll do that again next year. And the only thing that I have that I see on the calendar, and I'm going to put it into the chat, on October 14th, Matt is hosting their it used to be Walk Like Mad, now it's Golf Like Mad event. It's going to be at Crescent Oaks up in Tarpon Springs. They still have some openings for some foursomes. So any golfers out there or know people that like to play golf, it's a good event for a good cause. I know the sheriff's going to go out there. He's going to speak at the beginning, and there's a bunch of prizes to be won. I'll go over some of them here. I know one.
Hey, Mark, while you're looking, do you got a flyer for that you can send me?
Yeah, it's actually on the link I'm going to send. I just posted on there. They have a hole-in-one for one of the par threes. If anyone gets a hole-in-one, you win a motorcycle. Another hole-in-one is $10,000. And they have a bunch of prizes for longest drive, closest to the hole, and things like that. Some of those are a one-week cruise, and a foursome for Crescent Oaks, also a foursome for Waterleaf, which is down in Bradenton. It's a really nice course. So, but that's all I have coming up this month on the calendar. Blaine, do you know of anything else that's coming up?
No, I don't, Mark. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and again, the relief efforts for the hurricanes, it's going to last probably most of next month. Hopefully some of those people, especially in St. Pete Beach, start getting the power back. I know some of the lights has started coming up, so that's a good sign, but that's all I have. Anyone else from law enforcement that jumped on while I was talking? All right, move on to engineering. Eric?
I'll start things off for you. Just John Rhee in Pinellas County. Not sure if you were talking about the lights or the traffic lights out there on the beach, but just an update on that since we're talking about it. Only one light is dark right now, 150th and what was it, Madeira Way. And then 7 more on generators. So hopefully the traffic lights are doing good out there. But as far as engineering, Pinellas County is applying for 2 speedback signs on West Klosterman and Palm Harbor, one in each direction. A study was done on July 25th, a 48-hour study, and found that 96% of the vehicles exceeded the posted speed limit of 25 miles an hour. The 85th percentile of the speed was 38 miles per hour. So we're optimistic and grateful for FDOT for the safety funds that we're applying for. Hopefully that goes through. Me, Joan, and myself went to the CTST mega meeting and had a blast. A lot of good speakers, so very grateful for that. I actually have my safety doesn't happen by accident lanyard that I got from FDOT there, which was a good giveaway, I thought. So that's all for us today. So hope everybody fared well for the storm. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, John. Yeah, they had the light at 150th in Gulf working, and then it went out. But I know which light you're talking about. But yeah, I was talking about the traffic lights. When I was driving through St. Pete Beach, not yesterday, the day before, they were starting to come back up. So that was a good sign. Eric, you got anything?
Yeah, I got several things on the, I guess a little bit more towards the bike ped side, but some engineering stuff as well. I guess on the engineering side, I just want to thank everyone for their work post hurricane. I mean, we see the things everyone's been doing, and has been easy seeing the amount of people in St. Pete that were hit hard by this. But so we appreciate the response from everybody. I think we were able to get we had bridge closures, I think, all throughout Pinellas, about every bridge we had, but I think we had them all open within 24 hours of their initial closure. So, just great response and great teamwork from everyone. I wasn't in the EOC for this one. They didn't wind up needing me, but from what I understand, it was a lot of really great teamwork between everybody in Pinellas and FDOT. So just a big shout out to everybody for that. But on the bike ped side, there's a lot of stuff coming up. October is Pedestrian Safety Month. So that's going to be kind of our focus for the month of October. If anybody has any initiatives that they are working on for the month of October for Pedestrian Safety Month, and you want to team up or you need any support from us, just reach out to me. We'll see what we can do, whether that's providing materials or helping you come out and staff a table. We're happy to help however we can. It'll also be Mobility Week this month. I think that's the week of the 25th, I want to say. Same thing there. If you have any events, just let us know. See if we can team up. Walk to School, National Walk to School Day is going to be next week. Not every school is doing it on the same day, but a lot of them are doing it on the 8th and 9th. Our office is going to be going out to a bunch of those. I think we're doing 2 in Pinellas. I'm going to go out to Cross Bayou over in Pinellas Park, and then we will also be at, Lila Davis Elementary in Clearwater. We're also encouraging just other non-safety office staff to find a location that's participating near them and show up, hand some stuff out, walk with them, just help promote safety. I would encourage you all to do the same. I can post the link to the page where you can filter by county and just see if there's anybody near you participating. Let's see, what else? St. Pete PD, I think, is still having their national night out, or their night out on the 8th. I haven't heard anything about that being canceled. So hopefully they're still planning on having it. We're planning on being there. Gulf Coast Safe Street Summit is going to be next week as well on the 9th, I believe. So we'll have several safety office staff out there. Hopefully we'll see some of you all there. It's the same day as the Bike Ped Coalition and in the same location. So if any of you all are there for that, stick around for the Gulf Coast Safe Street Summit as well. They've got a lot of fun stuff planned there. Safe Routes to School applications are open as of the 30th, I believe. So if you are planning on submitting for that, the window should be open now for you to go ahead and submit. And then the last thing I have is we have a CarFit workshop coming up. So if you're not familiar with CarFit, that's a program that's offered through AAA. Safe Mobility for Life Coalition is the one that sponsors it. It allows, it's targeted towards older adults and making sure that they're properly fitted into their vehicle, that they wear their seatbelts right, that they're the right distance from their steering wheel. They're doing kind of a brief webinar it's 90 minutes, it's for free, just to show people how they can improve their personal fit in their vehicle, which is helpful for any of us. And then also just to give you an idea about what the program is like, so you can get involved with it if you so desire. It's going to be Tuesday, October 29th, 10 to 11:30. I'll send some details. I'll pop the flyer in the chat, and then we should have an email blast going out sometime shortly with all the details and how to register and all that good stuff. So if you're able to attend, I would definitely recommend that. When I got certified as a CarFit technician, I definitely learned some stuff about how I should be fitting my own vehicle. So it's not just for older drivers, but for everyone as well. And I think that is all I got. I had a lot today, but I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. Yeah, our national night out it definitely got canceled just because all our resources are spent out on the beach. So they haven't posted when they're going to reschedule it, but when that does happen, I'll let everyone know.
And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. St. Pete did cancel their national night out. I only know just because I used to live there and I follow their police department. So I just double checked, and it's on their Facebook feed. So sad news.
Oh, good to know. Thanks for the update, at least.
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll reschedule just like we will at some point.
Definitely.
So, all right. Anyone else from engineering? All righty, we'll go on to Ped Bike. Britton.
Sure. We just finished up a campaign for 4th Street in St. Petersburg for the new mid-block signals. So we will be compiling the results of that, and maybe I can have something to share at one of the next CTSTs. Other than that, there hasn't been a lot. Leading into education and touching on enforcement, George and Mike Zinn did the Impact Teen Drivers program, Train the Trainer. I don't know if anyone in St. Petersburg or in Pinellas attended that training for the law enforcement, because that's going to be part of the ELE program now, is for them to go into the schools and earn points for that education. So if you did attend, we'd love to hear your feedback.
I did talk to a couple of people at the mega meeting. I just can't remember who now. There was a guy from Clearwater. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now. I think he went and somebody else went. What was that, Dan?
That was
Christian
Steve.
Sarah.
Yeah, and then they had Clearwater, a couple guys there, I think, and then I went to that. Largo was there. There was a deputy there, I believe, Dallas County.
Yeah. And while you're on there, Steve, I've been texting with Larry's going to send me a flyer. I'll throw that in the chat too for the Golf Like Mad event.
All right, thanks.
Anything else, Brendan?
No, that's all I have.
Did anyone? Sorry, I'm just curious if anyone saw any of the. If anyone drives on 4th Street and saw any of the targeted advertising.
Yeah, that's a St. Pete area, and I don't see anyone from St. Pete on the line. But I could reach out to Major Pratt and see if she noticed anything out there.
Yeah, I don't think I got it, but I don't know if I'm on the social media that we were targeting. So I was just curious if anyone had seen them organically.
All right. Anyone else from education? All right, we'll move on to our problem locations.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. I was muted. I apologize. I have something, two things
no worries.
actually. So we're going to be supporting a few events in October. October tends to be our busiest month for the crashed vehicle that we own from the McConnell family DUI fatality. So it will be out at the Clearwater Neighborhood Family Center on Red Ribbon Day. It will be at St. Pete Fire Rescue's block party. And then we're also supporting 2 events that Robin from MAD is doing at Palm Harbor University High School and then USF St. Pete. So I have that to just mention. And then something that's non-education related. We, Suncoast Safety Council, have been the steward of some funds for many, many, many years related to CTST and some Battle of the Belt events that we participated in years and years ago. I brought this up a few years back, and then in 2018, CTST chose to use some of the funds, I think about $500, for some safety art contest winner drawing or winner prizes. So we still have $532.45 that are on our books. I was just wanting to mention this today because there is so much need out there right now that maybe we collectively can decide to do some good with those funds. Just wanted to toss that out there for discussion.
Yeah, does anybody have any ideas?
I mean, the Hurricane Helene relief seems like the kind of the low-hanging fruit there, right?
Yeah,
Help
so
support
that's
some of
what I
those
meant.
efforts.
Yes, I'm sorry. That is what I meant. There's just a lot of need out there right now. So, you know, supporting first responders, supporting residents in need, some way, shape, or form, to utilize those funds if that meets with agreement from the group.
One thing we could consider is I know the Suncoast PBA is doing a lot of help, especially for relief. I don't know if somebody could reach out to them. That might be a decent option.
You said PBA, right? I'm sorry, it's just
Yeah,
low.
the Suncoast PBA.
Okay. So Mark, I don't know if this requires approval or really how we would go about, getting authorization to use those funds for a specific purpose. I'm not sure if that's something you can just approve as we move forward, as long as the collective group agrees that that's a direction we'd like to go, and then you and I can follow up, or really what that process needs to be.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever had to deal with it. So, but that sounds about right. I'll approve it as long as everyone's good with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've ever experienced that either. It sounds like it was before my time as well.
Yeah, it's these funds we've had since I think 2007 is when they started, and we had some corporate donors at the time, and so we basically had more sponsorship and things than were actually needed, and so we just had this excess. And then over the years, Battle of the Belts events have really just fallen off, and so we've just been a good steward of the funds ever since. But now with so much need in the community, there I would think is something we could worthy that we can make use of those funds for. So. Thanks, that's all I had.
Okay, well, while we're on education too, Robin with Mad, do you have anything?
Hi, everybody. Yes, we are. I wanted to mention the golf tournament. I was going to try to post the flyer, but I'm not able to actually type in the chat. So I sent that to Eric Henry. Maybe he can post that.
Just dropped it
Then
in.
we have the Minnesota Walk, which is November 16th in Bradenton, Manatee County. If anybody's interested in doing that. We are also participating in an event with USF St. Pete on November 12th, which is going to be a full mat event with the students at USF St. Pete. And we're out in the community and really busy right now with the schools. So if anybody needs anything, just give me a call or a text or an email. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Robin. Yeah, I went to last year's Minnesota Walk. It's actually a pretty good event, and they do it. I think it's at that Bennett Park there, right off 75. So it's a really good location as well. All right, does anybody have anything else before I move on to old business? All righty, we will go to our problem locations. So school buses, schools in session. So I am, for those that don't know, I'm no longer in HR. I was promoted, so now I'm the North County day shift commander. So during the mornings and afternoons, I tail the buses, and again, it just seems to be the same problem when I stop these people and they're like, I didn't see the bus. I'm like, how can you not see that big yellow bus with all the lights, the 4 stop signs coming out, the kids coming off? Like, how do you not see that? And the only thing I could chalk it up to is either one, it's just a poor excuse to try to get out of a ticket, or they are so honed in on not paying attention that they just didn't see it. So that will remain. And I think the only other one we have is the signal, which I believe is still under construction. Does anybody have any problem areas that they would like to add?
Hey, Mark, Dan Eggersmith. We have Belcher by Oak Grove, and people are constantly running school buses over there, and a lot of issues with that. That's a 40-mile-an-hour zone over there. And what they do is they have like they have a transfer where they pick up other students for other schools at that school. So the buses are coming and going. Is there any way we can make that and I think it's Belcher's a county road. So is there any way to make that a school zone, slow those people down a little bit in that area during those times?
That would probably be a John Ryman question.
And that was to get, I'm sorry, that was to get some kind of infrastructure in there to slow those people down, like a speed feedback sign?
Something we got to get the people to slow down, realize that there is school buses. The other day when my team was out there, we we collectively stopped 5 cars at one time that passed the stop school bus. So it was, it's ridiculous that the amount of traffic that goes through there and people just not, abiding by the laws that are at hand. So if there's any way we can get them to slow down and maybe even realize what's going on, it would be great. Some type of infrastructure would probably make a big difference.
Absolutely. And you said that was Oak Grove and Belcher?
Well, Oak Grove's the middle school that's there. They have they've got a red light there. But I guess in previously speaking to people, I guess the excuse was that they couldn't put a school zone or flashing lights because of the red light, or I don't know much about how that works, but it's that's definitely a problem issue for us in the city.
Okay, definitely. I'll follow up with that.
Thank you.
Jim, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I've noticed that the surrounding counties have all implemented the new statute with the school bus camera enforcement. And I know that it's a labor intensive item for agencies to have an officer review those, but it seems like we're kind of missing the boat in that ability to to make these kids a lot safer. Because I mean, I know my time, we spent so much time as officers in traffic, trying to keep people from stopping or from passing school buses, that this is such a great tool that, I think we all know that people change their behavior when they get kind of hit in their pocketbook. And I don't know if there's anything that we can do as a group to kind of maybe impress upon the agency leaders of, how much of a tool that they're just letting slip by.
Yeah, I know I pushed it up my chain. I didn't hear anything about it, which probably means it went nowhere. But my philosophy is you keep pushing something until they say yes. So that'll be another topic I can bring up and just keep pushing it up. But no, you're right. And Belcher, that's a 4-lane and mostly undivided highway. Again, these people are not paying attention. How can you not see this big yellow bus with all these stop signs and lights, and especially in the area of that school? Again, if they're not paying attention, then yeah, I guess it's going to have to hurt in their pocket for sure.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Jim. All right. All right. We'll now move on to HSIP and Mashid.
Good morning again. Yeah, on this CTST mega meeting, that was a great meeting. And just a note, after the hurricane, we've been flying drones on the beaches for DOT. So they have those shots. The last week, we've been doing that. On the HSIP, thank you, John, for the presentation. Pinellas County has asked for speed feedback signs on Klosterman Road. And so we're getting some codes for that. We're working on several other requests and getting codes for Bill Reha and DOT. So there is a lot going on with material requests, and now's the time to submit applications. If I can help in any way, I would be glad to do that. Please let me know how I can help. Thank you.
Thank you, Mashid. All right, we'll now move on to high crash intersections, but the fatal map. If anybody was wondering, if you heard on Tuesday morning, one of our deputies, Deputy Dale O'Shea, was heading to work and was in a pretty significant wreck. The initial reports was that he wasn't going to make it, but the sheriff has been updating us. This was a crash in Pasco up off of, I think, Hudson Ave. And he's progressing, so it looks like he's going to make it, so we're very thankful about that. But looking at the map for this year, we have 71 crashes with a total of 75 fatals. Yeah, and as I said in the past, my goal is always to be under 100 for the year. So fingers crossed. This time last year, we were at 77 crashes with 81 fatals. So we're definitely doing a lot better than last year. Again, I don't want to jinx us in any way, but hopefully we can keep it under 100 this year. That would be great. Does anybody have any questions about the map? Nope. Alrighty. Now, does anybody have anything that they want to talk about? Any suggestions for presentations for future meetings coming up?
Yeah,
Mark,
that's
it's
exactly what I was going to ask. Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
Hey, sorry about that. Just quick to recount on the cameras and the lasers and the school zones and all that. I did speak to our command staff about it. I went right to the top, and basically, this has got to be sold from the top down, from city council or the county commission. They don't. The bosses themselves, they're not going to put their necks out there to be say they're looking for money. That's the concept that they're looking at, as opposed to the safety. So I think that if we're going to approach it, or if we have to approach it, it's got to come from the top down. Just as a thought.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dan, because yeah, unfortunately, I think the red light cameras, definitely put a bad taste in the people's mouth, thinking it was just a big money maker, and it had nothing to do with safety. But the thing with those cameras, and I'm sure Dan can vouch for this because I'm sure it helped a bunch of your cases. But those cameras, they're recording all the time. And I know it helped us solve one of our THI cases because we were able to go into the camera system and find, the vehicle that we were looking for. We didn't have a tag, and we were able to narrow it down. So, those cameras, even though they're in there for the school setting, they also, end up having other purposes as well for safety, other than it just being money. But like I said, I think the red light cameras definitely put a bad taste in the people's mouth for sure.
Well, I've been watching. I was tasked with watching those cameras for a while, and I mean, I went through. In a month, we have 3,000 hits, and when we're looking at them, I'm looking at cars doing 55 miles an hour through an intersection where the lights red for about 1 to 2 seconds already. So we're not going after those people that are. Ooh, I didn't stop in time. These people are flying through these lights. In many cases, I've seen just missed crashes just watching those red light cameras. I never watched them before until this time period. So I can attest that they definitely work. They definitely slow people down. And I'm a firm believer in these lasers in the school zones. And if it could be sold, or if there's a way that we could have it pushed through the top down, that would be it would be a benefit all the way around in the sense of school safety, as far as the children, as well as many of these cameras can be linked into the Fuchsia system, and they can be monitored in case of a school shooting or any of those other situations that occur. So I think that there's a bigger benefit here and it's being missed. So I have to agree.
And I think, probably the best way to approach that is, now that they've been up for, because I know out here in my neighborhood, they just got put up not too long ago, is reach out to those counties that have been using them and get, maybe a feedback report from them to see, what the pros and cons are, and then sell it that way.
I agree. Something needs to be done in that sense, because you can't put officers in every intersection. But if you're hitting them $100 in the pocket for speeding through a school zone, they're going to stop. They're not going to do it. And the same thing with the school buses. If the school bus is the same way, if the people are passing a stop school bus and the camera's on that school bus, it's gonna stop. So
I've always agreed that, sometimes, citing somebody one time will fix the problem for good, or at least a while. But there's some other people, man, it'll just take to the point where, they're so buried in fines that their license gets suspended. And, now, they're either having to bike, walk, or bus to school or to work. And they realize, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't be doing that anymore. I know when I worked out in the city, I've had that happen to a couple of people, and, they finally got it. But Valerie, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I was just gonna add to it. Completely agree. We had another speaker come to our school transportation safety committee yesterday, and a vendor, but I know our board, Ford Pinellas board, wants to hear a presentation. So we're gonna try to get the school district to go before our board. That would be, you know, relating to the bus stop arms. We keep trying, you know, to push it and see if we can get interest. Maybe slowly we're getting a little. I know Oldsmar is interested. They had something before their commission just like a couple nights ago, but maybe if we can even get in before the Board of County Commissioners, or if some of these vendors, I know normally we don't want to like just sell one vendor, but that's what I had them just speak generally as like a subject matter expert, not selling the product. But I mean, there's no upfront cost, and there it does. In my head, it's a no-brainer, because even the money that comes back, some does go to the law enforcement. So it seems like the amount that's coming back would be enough to review it too. But like you said, it's probably the
Yeah,
county commission needs to hear.
Yeah, I would like to see, like, again, you know, like I said before, a report from, you know, some of these counties that have been using it to see what, you know, what the outcome has been since it's been implemented. Then using that report, then that's how you could push it on our end.
Yeah, well, I can follow up on that. That's been something I've been meaning to do, at least with like Hillsborough. You know, they started implementing it. But their numbers, just like the news stories that were reported in the first week of school, the numbers of buses being passed was insane. So that, you know, we got a mechanism right there that we can help stop those. And I'll do anything I can help on this, but I'll try to get something from Hillsborough and get some more information.
Perfect. Thank you, Valerie. Robin, you got your hand up?
Yes, I just wanted to come in on that conversation. I'm happy to help anybody with that. I'm actually a 24-year veteran school bus driver. So I'm happy to help promote that in any way I can. Just reach out to me and let me know.
Perfect. Thank you, Robin. Steve, you got some?
A little bit, two things. I think on my administration, kind of parroting what Dan said, they're kind of waiting for your boss to kind of jump on the bandwagon. As far as the speed cameras go, and as far as the buses go, the opinion is generally going to be the schools, since the buses all kind of fall into their lap. We just don't want to, like you said, we just don't want to be the one with our head on the chopping block. But he's kind of depending on the sheriff, or at least the chief of the schools police, to at least spearhead a program for those two things. And until we can get those guys going, if you will, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. There are some reports. The first agency in Florida that did it up on the north side of Orlando, I know for the speed camera aspect, has been positive. We have to reach out to them. They've had them now for almost a year. So, you know, again, like everybody else said, it's ridiculous that we aren't using the technology that's available to us to try to solve some of these problems. That's all I had to throw in there.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Major McBride with schools police and see if they've even talked about it, or what their stance is on it. And then again, like I said, I'll push it up again and see.
And one other question then, Mark. So it sounds like Oldsmar might be ready to have a conversation with someone from the sheriff's department. So I don't know who that best person might be to reach out to try to set up something.
It would be our North District captain, who is my boss. So I will bring it up to him tomorrow when I go back to work.
Okay.
And let them know that they're having that conversation, and just you know, give him a heads up on it, because he reports all the city activity to the sheriff anyways. So I will bring that up tomorrow when I go into work. So maybe that'll be another, you know, side way of getting it in.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm gonna have a follow-up conversation with my director, because one of the commissioners he had a conversation with yesterday, I guess. So thank you.
No problem. All right. Does anybody else have anything? So, Lori, when is our next in-person meeting going to be in December?
It's November 7th will be the in-person meeting, and then December will be virtual.
All right, November 7th. Let me just look here real quick. My calendar. Let's see if all right, what I will try to do, because we haven't had it here before, is host it at our North District station up there in Dunedin. So I'll get working on that for the November meeting.
Okay. Once you get that approved, shoot me an email so I get that added to the agenda.
Yeah, I will actually do that tomorrow. I have a list of things, so I will let you know tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you.
For that.
Cool.
And if that doesn't work out for any reason, it looks like we have room in the Pinellas Ops conference room. We could do it there if need be.
The one off of Drew Street there, the traffic ops.
It's off of the one off of Ulmerton. I think we did a meeting there.
Okay.
Yeah, the main like Pinellas Ops operations office.
This
Yeah,
is Kathy. I'm sorry, Lieutenant. This is Kathy from Dunedin. If you
Mhm.
need help coordinating anything, rooms or food or anything, I won't be there that day, but I'd be more than happy to facilitate anything that you need to have your meeting here.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then for next year, one of our in-person meetings I'd like to do back at Traffic Ops again. Because it was a Deidre that works out there. She normally has her folks, show us, the Traffic Ops room, the systems that they're using and all the new technology that they get. So that's always been a great in-person meeting. So I'll try to get that arranged for one of our in-person meetings in 2025.
So you mean the Pinellas County, right? You're talking about county.
Yeah.
So maybe John can tell. I'll tell Danita.
Yeah, I can reach out.
Do
you have a month in mind yet? Or are you just thinking 2025 ballpark?
Yeah, just probably we'll talk about it in December because we normally do an in-person meeting, I think around February, March.
It's February, yeah.
Perfect.
February.
Yeah. Yep. As long as we get it on the books early enough, it's easy enough to get that large conference room. So we just got to get on the books. But no problem.
All right. So if it's going to be in February, then it's going to be February 6th. So if you want to see if it's open.
Okay, I will. And I'll book it if not, if it is.
Sounds good. All right. Does anybody have anything? All righty. Well, Eric put in another poster. It's got a QR code for the Golf Like Mad. Again, it's going to be a great event, again, for a very great cause. So with that, hope everyone has a great rest of your day. And as always, stay safe and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
See you guys.
Take care.
Thank you. Be safe.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.